Good evening and welcome to Have I Got News for You? I'm Jeremy Bowen. In the news this week, on the first cruise ship designed especially for dogs, there's a fine view of the pyramids from the first-class cabins. In Washington, an indignant George Bush tells White House staff that he is perfectly capable of changing the fuse in a plug by himself. And at a school in South London, the headmaster breaks the news that Jamie Oliver has choked to death on a wholemeal pasta bake. On Ian Hislop's team is a Channel 4 presenter whose relentless grilling of Tony Blair during an interview led to the Prime Minister admitting he doesn't buy flowers for his wife. Unlike John Prescott, who does little else these days. Please welcome June Sarpong. And with Paul Merton tonight, a comedian who was delighted when his recent TV show with Ali McCoist got just over 1 million viewers in Scotland. If it had been shown across the UK, this would equate to just over 1 million viewers. Please welcome Fred MacAulay. We start with round one. Paul and Fred, here they come.
EastEnders, isn't
EastEnders, yes.
Oh, no, it's a Borat premiere.
That's John Reed, isn't it? And that isn't John Reed, that's a builder. This is about people coming over here, and there he is, that fits. And this man's on the run at the moment. The police are after him. That's Michael Howard. They said shoot on sight.
These are people coming over to our country and doing the jobs that we don't want to.
That's right. That's it, exactly.
And who is it who is not too sure about it? He wants all of them here.
It's my fellow countryman, John Reed.
Yes.
Have you met him?
Bumped into him a couple of times.
Was he drunk?
No. Were you drunk? Probably, yeah. Well, it was in Scotland, sorry. We were both drunk. One of your colleagues, Jeremy Paxman, actually accused him of being Labour's attack dog. And he said, there you go, Paxman. He said, if you've got a posh accent like you have and you went to public school like you did, you're some kind of sophisticate. I, however, am just a broad west of Scotland speaking. That's what he tried to say. What I actually said was, outside you f***ing pansy.
Sad day for democracy.
We've established that he's having a clampdown. On who? Do we know exactly?
Romanians and Bulgarians, is it?
Yeah.
Well, he said we can have 20,000 unskilled Bulgarians, I think that is. We can have as many highly skilled people as we like, because they don't want to come.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, because they can come anyway, providing they don't work. Which is a really tough clampdown, isn't it? You can come over here for 3 months and do nothing, but don't work. And pay taxes and help out, and that would be awful.
What's the job that they're allowed to do?
They're allowed bus job that begins with a B. Bus conductor, brain surgeon.
Bulgarian?
Bulgarian.
Yeah. Is anyone counting?
No. It's one of those targets that no one counts. Because we haven't got any border police, have we? Unless the Bulgarians could become the border police.
Yeah, it begins with B, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the Daily Mail will be counting.
That's true.
Yeah.
Millions coming in.
David Davis, Shadow Home Secretary.
Yes.
He's not happy about this.
No, he's not happy at all. Because he's taken away his cleaning jobs.
And the fruit picking he did at weekends.
Yeah.
According to the Times, he accused John Reed of cosmetic posturing and of having glaring loopholes.
Yeah, you're going to say that to his face.
MPs, what else have they been trying to do this week?
Have they increased their salary?
That's not what I'm after. Something
What
else.
are you after?
I'm after.
You've got a grim determination. I bet you're going to get it as well, aren't you?
I'll ask lots of questions.
What is it you're after? Do you know?
I'm after cash. Well, they're
You're after cash. Lots of people use the show as a springboard to oblivion.
No, the police have been interviewing MPs about cash for honours.
Michael Howard got arrested.
Yes.
Well, they haven't arrested him. They interviewed him.
As a witness?
Yeah.
What's the real worry for the Tories?
That they'll get in. And they'll have to think of something to do.
What about bringing back people from the past? The quiet man.
Ian Duncan Smith.
Duncan Smith,
No, he's not coming back.
Surely not.
How will we know? He might have been back for ages.
The real worry for the Tories is apparently that the police will interview Ian Duncan Smith, and according to The Independent, members of IDS's old staff are said to be bricking it. How did the presenter Jane Garvey get into trouble?
On 5 Live?
On 5 Live, she was reading something out.
On Radio 5 Live, Nicky Campbell got into trouble about 2 years ago, talking about the ban on fox hunting, because he tried to say, let's go now live to the West Kent hunt. Not to be tackled.
So you don't remember what happened to Jane?
No.
She said, well, she read out a text from a listener which described Tony Blair as a tosser. Within minutes, hundreds of furious listeners were ringing in to complain about the mild language. June, you've met Tony, haven't you?
Yes.
What was he like?
It was fine. Yeah.
Oh, come on, we want a bit more than 5.
When I interviewed him, he was telling me about when George Bush came over, and he took George to a Sedgefield, and somebody mooned George Bush. And so Tony said, oh, yeah, I'm very sorry, George, I'm very sorry. And so George said, yo, Blair. He said, actually, it doesn't mean anything, because when I was in Massachusetts, I was mooned by a woman whose butt was so big she wrote, George Bush, get the hell out of Massachusetts.
Yeah, this is the government getting tough on immigration. Thanks to John Reid's crackdown, there'll soon be only 3 legitimate ways for immigrants to make Britain their home. If you're a self-employed craftsman, if you're on a tourist visa, or if you're adopted by Madonna. Labour's poll rating is now at the lowest level since 1987, when Neil Kinnock was leader, and according to The Guardian, Peter Mandelson was an ambitious backroom boy. Some kind of 1980s euphemism, I believe. OK, Ian and June, here's yours.
Prince Philip.
Yeah, things are serious in Iraq. They've sent in the Duke of Edinburgh.
I thought he was looking for Prince Margaret's illegitimate son, wasn't that?
Gee, it could have been. That could be it. Oh, there's a comedy picture.
There you go.
Iraq's blown up. Oh, he's solved it. He's put it out with a towel.
Well done, George.
Bush has changed his mind, because I think he's terribly worried about a huge...
The midterm elections.
Yeah, a big defeat by the Democrats. So he's gone on national television to say, when I said we would never leave Iraq, what I meant was we might.
One day.
When the job's done.
Done.
His job.
Yes.
Which will be finished quite shortly.
Only 2 years?
2 years,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
What are Bush and Blair saying about when UK and US forces are actually going to withdraw?
Well, Blair said something like 12 to 16 months, which, given that the place is chaos now, it's sort of quite optimistic. But then, you know, he knows these things, doesn't he?
He does.
Did you grill him on Iraq?
Oh, yes, I did.
What did you ask?
Well, the T4 viewers grilled him on Iraq and
Did
told him
they?
he'd lied to us.
Really?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
Yes.
Sorry, I missed this scoop on your programme. The Prime Minister admitting he'd lied.
Where were you, Ian?
Oh, T4, damn, I must have been out clubbing.
Yes. Wasn't that when you were being issued with your ASBO? That was then, wasn't it?
You're not meant to mention the ASBO.
Yeah.
He's not allowed within 500 yards of Eamon Holmes.
No, I'm not.
It's true.
What is Bush saying has changed recently?
He's got unpopular.
That's no change.
There's no change.
Oh, right. He's got more unpopular.
He says the goals and strategy are the same, but the tactics are changing. Anyone know the difference between goals, strategy and tactics?
I think you're mixing him up with Steve McLaren.
Or with someone who knows what they're talking about.
Well, tactics are minty little sweets, aren't they? So
Yeah, on this subject of goals, strategy and tactics, even the White House spokesman appears to be getting in trouble, putting that message across this week.
I think they will agree with what I described as strategy, which is...
You're not even considering it.
That's a strategic hit on a microphone.
This is the continuing story of the war in Iraq, which this week has been upgraded from bad to terrible. Tony Blair famously stated in 2003 that Iraq would be a beacon for the Middle East. And if by beacon he means large objects on fire, then he is absolutely correct. Iraq is obviously a catastrophe of epic proportions, as the Daily Mirror says. But as you can see, the good news is that a lady in Cambridge has grown a pumpkin in her photo. In a row over their coverage, the Ministry of Defence described ITV News as being like the Daily Star with moving pictures. Mind you, Sir Trevor MacDonald had just presented a Tonight special featuring upskirt action from a brigadier's wife.
Do you just read anything they give you?
Have we got the editorial team from Nuts in? Tosser, arse, upskirt. Is it Lad Mag Week, isn't it?
Tosser, arse, upskirt. I went to school with all those boys. Barry Upskirt. Tommy Tosser. Alan Arse.
OK, then, at the end of that round, 2 points each. And so to round 2, and it's a welcome return for the Have I Got News for You Wheel of News. I'll give it a spin. Buzz if you know what the story is. Oh.
Kilroy's show's been voted one of the worst TV shows ever.
Yeah, this week saw the publication of a list of the 20 worst ever shows on television. You can look away now if you like. It's our old favourite, Shafted.
Their fate will be in each other's hands as they decide whether to share or to shaft.
It's made my hair clench.
Aside from Shafted, which quiz show made the list of stinkers?
3, 2, 1.
Yes. Co-hosted by...
Ted Rogers.
Ted Rogers.
Yeah, and a dustbin.
Yeah, wonderful clues every week.
Yeah.
Now, remember, you saw Vienna, so first letter in Vienna is V. What else begins with V? That's right, vet. What do you find at the vet? Sick dogs. Yes, you've won, and Labrador that's not going to last another week. Here it is.
Fingers back and buzzers, please. There's another spin coming up.
Yeah. Elvis Presley.
Yep.
Elvis Presley earns more money now than when he was alive. And he's doing more concerts now than when he was alive. And he's thinner now than when he was alive. Everything about him is different now that he's dead.
He's no longer the highest-earning dead person.
No,
You've got a
not.
point. You've got a point.
And
Yeah,
who is?
exactly.
Stafford
Kurt
Cripps.
Cobain is.
Kurt Cobain.
Ian, can you name your favourite song? By Kurt Cobain.
It would have to be Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Give us a bit of it.
Who else is in the top 10 of dead people who are earning a lot of money?
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. Do you know how
Ray
much?
Charles.
There's also a very brainy guy with a big moustache and flowing hair.
Desmond Lynam.
Is it Dr. Winston?
He's not dead. He's got to be dead for this.
I saw his last show. Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein, yes. £10 million since he
Pretty
died.
suspiciously round figure, isn't it?
Yeah.
How's he made his money then?
Yeah.
Educational DVDs.
Oh, I've seen those. Albert Einstein's Guide to Crossing the Road Safely.
Yeah.
Remember, time is elastic, so that lorry is closer to you than you think.
John Lennon and George Harrison were on the list as well.
Yes.
Do you know how much they made?
£8 million.
£16 million each. No, together. So. What's each? I'm not an
8
accountant. How
million.
much is that?
It's 8 million each.
We did it. Yeah, they've made the list with collective earnings of 16 million, which means they've made almost as much out of the Beatles as Heather Mills is hoping to. That won't be the last time that Heather Mills will be appearing in this programme tonight, I warn you.
Are you not staying? You're going to swap halfway point. I mean, I'll support it, obviously.
Yeah.
This is a list of top-earning dead celebrities published this week. Top of the list is Kurt Cobain, who killed himself in 1994. He's best known for his hit, Smells Like Teen Spirit. But God knows what he smells like now.
He will. He'll just read anything, won't he?
Fingers on the buzzers. How about that? Let's stop
pelican.
there.
Pelicans eat a pigeon in
You got
Trafalgar
it.
Square.
The pelican ate the pigeon.
Yeah.
How do we know that the pelican ate the pigeon?
Because we saw a photograph of it in the papers.
Exactly. Come on, let's have a look. Here's the pigeon before the pelican traps it in his beak.
Yeah.
And here's the pigeon afterwards.
Have you ever taken on a pelican?
No, no, I would never dream of it.
Why not?
Well, look
Are
what
you a man
happens,
or a
look what
man?
happens
Well,
to
you're
you.
not a pigeon, are you? A fully grown man. Why? What should you do? You can do the Middle East and stay you're scared of pelicans. There's a fire at Whipsnade Zoo. They're not going to send you, are they?
The pelicans are in St James's Park.
Yeah, pelicans in St James's Park, yeah.
Yeah. What are they doing there?
Well, they're looking to move into the area. There's the kids need education. There's some good schools in the vicinity.
Yeah.
They're skilled,
Yeah.
mind you. I mean, they're not just unskilled pelicans. We don't let them in.
No.
Do you know how long they've been there for?
5 years. 27 years. 80. Since the dawn of time. Last Wednesday.
Since the reign of Edward III.
No.
But they were just swans with a double chin in those days.
Yes.
They were a gift to Charles II
Yeah.
in 1664 from the Russian ambassador. You're spoiling us, ambassador. Your Excellency.
No, you didn't read that out, did
No,
you?
I didn't read it out, no.
You're better off sticking to reading things out. Don't start.
I'm making another animal-related story this week about Bailey the Bull Terrier, who created some havoc in County Durham. He cocked his leg against some live cables near an electricity pylon, blacking out the entire neighbourhood. The dog's owner described what happened. I turned round and the dog was on fire. At which point several other dogs curled up and fell asleep in front of it. Time now for the odd one out. Buzz in when you know the answer. James Blunt, Boris Johnson, the Queen, and the Iron Man.
Is it about having your portrait painted?
Yeah, it's about art.
It's about art, because the gentleman there, the man standing up in the beach, that's, is it Crosby, near Liverpool, I think? Anthony Gormley, the sculptor's got 100 of these figures there, and some people want them to stay, some people want them to go. And Boris has been painted recently, hasn't he? He's been
Well, not recently.
He's been paintballing, I should think.
Is Boris the new face with Dulux paint? Boris Johnson's the odd one out, because he was painted a long time ago, and all the others were recently involved in art stories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yes, they're all the subject of controversial artworks which are currently on display,
Yeah.
except for Boris, who has made into a Warhol-style poster to attract students into the Tory party.
Yeah, that'll really do it.
Looks like he's been gunged at 6 different television studios.
It doesn't even look like Boris.
No.
No, it does.
Do you fancy him?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a kiss.
What about the Iron Man?
I don't want to give him a kiss.
No.
There they are, scattered across the beach.
Yeah, it's good.
So there's been quite a lot of public interaction with the art already.
Yeah, so puts Liverpool shirts on it, Everton shirts, all that kind of thing. Raincoats when it's raining, when it's wet. It's all very funny, seems, but it's good.
Yeah, they've extras in a nativity play, and according to The Guardian, their testicles are being painted yellow.
Paintballing again.
The Queen's portrait, what was she portrayed as?
Pole dancing, wasn't it?
She's not kind of gurning, taking her teeth out.
There you are. Look at that. There it is.
It's more like Popeye, isn't it, really?
It's George Condo, and his painting was unveiled at the Tate Modern this week.
Wow.
It's Popeye in drag, isn't it? It's definitely Popeye in drag.
Can't wait for Christmas.
This isn't the only portrait of the Queen that Mr. Condo has painted. It's a picture of the Queen with a carrot sticking through her head.
So he's a big fan of the Queen, then, obviously.
How does he get her to pose for these? There's a carrot in place behind her, and he just tells her to press her head against it quickly.
James Blunt. He's one of the subjects of a new genre of art called Marmart.
Right.
Get it?
Oh, people are making people's faces out of Marmite
yes.
on bread, aren't they?
And an exhibition of these works has been on display in London this week. Who came ahead of James Blunt in a recent poll of Britain's most annoying things?
Mrs. Beckett's caravan.
Caravans, yeah,
Is
caravans.
it her specifically or just caravans?
No, in general, caravans are found annoying by British people, according to this poll.
More annoying than James Blunt?
Yeah.
But when have you
find
ever
them
sat
annoying?
behind a caravan and gone, oh, this is about as annoying as James Blunt?
Or at a James Blunt concert, people will say, this is just like being stuck behind a caravan. What's in these tickets?
Yeah, all these are the subject of controversial works of art which go on display this week, apart from Boris Johnson, although he was made into a Warhol-style poster to attract students to the Tory party. Some of Andy Warhol's films include Haircut, Restaurant, Eat, Kiss, Blowjob and Sleep.
That was a list of the 6 most popular things in Britain. All of them more popular than James Blunt,
Yeah.
right?
And those are the wives of the 7 dwarves.
I know which one Grumpy wasn't married to.
Yeah.
Time now for the Missing Words round, which features as its guest publication Global Slag magazine.
Is Madonna in?
You know, I was a subscriber up there.
Be a gentleman whose name happens to be Global Slag. His wife's looking a bit embarrassed, I bet it is.
Let's start with fancy a quiet life, don't what?
Marry Heather McCartney.
Don't stand too close to Ian Paisley!
Don't live inside an aeroplane engine.
There's an aeroplane connection here.
Yeah, Heathrow.
Don't go to...
Fancy quiet life, don't go near the airport. What sort of headline's that? The duty-free shop.
You got it, Slough. Yes,
Slough.
you got it.
Slough.
Slough.
Fancy quiet life, don't go to Slough. This is the startling news that quiet areas are quieter than noisy areas. Thanks for that, scientist. Now, where's that cure for cancer? Next, what will be tested out on the Tingewick bypass?
Global slags.
Ground granulated blast furnace slag. I wanted to find out a bit more about the composition of road building materials, so I googled the word slag and hardcore. I won't be doing that again.
Or maybe you will.
Yeah. Maybe you will, yes. Good point. Yeah.
Next year's Cheese Olympics to include what?
4x4 women's camembert relay.
Hop, skip and cheddar.
You gonna get this? No? 300 entrants is the answer. Yes, created to promote traditional cheese-making practices, the 5th Cheese Olympics will take place next October in Oberstdorf, Germany. There was controversy at last year's event when the gold medalist in the sandwich section later tested positive for traces of chutney. Next, the first Global Slag Conference has successfully what?
Collapsed in a heap and been sick.
Thrown up over its white stilettos.
Answer, the first Global Slag Conference has successfully taken place in Dusseldorf. It was the first ever slag conference outside of Doncaster Town Centre on a Saturday night. And finally, I've had what, and I still can't walk straight.
A hot slag.
Says Darth Vader.
Is it Carol Vorderman?
No, it's Darth Vader.
Princess Leia.
I've had
Princess Leia?
Is it 4 hip operations?
what? Yes, 4
Is
new
that
hits.
too
Yeah.
many? That's the trouble.
Is that 4 new hits?
That's why you can't walk properly. They don't want to familiarise himself with the human skeleton. Yeah. He's gone in there for the 4 for 2, thinking it's a better offer, but it's not. He used to be the Green Cross Code man as well.
Wasn't a speaking part, though, I think.
No. Well, where's he from? He's from Devon or Cornwall or something. There was an interview with him where he said, well, I was desperately upset when I was told I couldn't be the voice of Darth Vader. I've been wearing the costume and everything. I kept seeing Mr. Lucas there, and I thought he was bound to say yes at some point. You know. No, Luke, I'm your father. Not really.
So the final scores are Ian and June have 7, and Paul and Fred have 11. Now, before we go, there's just time for the caption competition. Ooh.
Isn't there going to be a lighted candle somewhere? Anne Widdecombe sues tanning salon.
Is it new Queen portrait, not terribly accurate?
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and June Sarpong, Paul Merton and Fred MacAulay. And I leave you with news that as more and more tourists flock to climb Mount Everest, Sherpas admit that conditions at base camp aren't as harsh as they used to be. Girls Allowed prepare for the Middle Eastern leg of their world tour. And in a gesture of reconciliation, Paul McCartney sends a songbird to Heather Mills. Good night.
See if you can slip her in there.
You're losing faith with my parking, aren't you?
Why'd you say that?
Not Going Out, next on BBC One.
Later, Sacha Baron Cohen is among the stars with Jonathan Ross after the news, while Death proves quite interesting for the team in QI at 10 over on BBC Two.
To be honest, they wanted Jim Bowen, but he wouldn't do it for the money.
Oh, you're not the bloke from Bullseye?
That'd be great. Standing the Gaza Strip. Come and have a look at what you could have won.
I thought
the West Bank, that's safe.
Yeah.